What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Merricks Garage. It has been a while since we've spoken, and let's talk about that. So about, 30 years ago now, I purchased my 87 K5 Blazer. It was a GMC Jimmy, and it had 74,000 miles on it, and I loved this truck, and I still do. I just drove it to the shop today in the rain. And about 10 years ago, the truck was relegated to just beach and camping duty and really wasn't that reliable, and I didn't know what I was going to do with it. And I got this wild hair that I wanted to restore it and rebuild it and turn it into something that I could take my family on trips and adventures with. And I'm sure this resonates with a lot of you. It's a story that is very familiar. You know, we got a lot of nostalgia for these vehicles. They represent good times and good friendships. And yeah, that's what mine represented to me. And I wanted to keep that going. I wanted to use that tool to introduce my family to the wild outside. And being the salesman that I am, I realized that I had an opportunity to document my build and bring content to like-minded individuals who want to build these trucks but don't have any formal experience or training or certifications, much like myself. I also wised up to recognize that if I was producing content showcasing products, that those products could be provided to me by the manufacturer at a discounted rate, which would allow me to build my truck the way I wanted to, but necessarily couldn't afford. Well, that went on for several years. Over the last 10 years, the channel, I've put out 500 videos or something like that. And at this point, I feel like I have covered all of the how-tos, all of the tips and tricks, whether it's axle choices or brake upgrades or steering or engine swaps or suspension or leaf springs versus coil or electrical or reviews. There is a video within my library that covers all these things. Well, things have grown and evolved and changed. If you followed me, you've seen that I've been in 3 separate places in the last year. That has been a tremendous burden upon the channel and the business, but we have survived and we have thrived. And I feel like we're entering a new chapter with Merricks Garage now. One that unfortunately has drawn me away from the videos and drawn me more into the business side of things. But my overarching objective has been full transparency for years. Whether that's showing my rollovers, showing my successes, showing my complete screw-ups and failures. I've just kind of opened myself up, warts and all, for you guys to, I don't know, take encouragement that if this schmuck could do it, then you guys could too. I've started taking on customer builds. It's been about a year since I started my first real build. It was the pre-runner. That's when I brought on John, big, tall Viking John. You guys have seen him. That's when he came on board, was to help me with the fab and construction of the pre-runner, which is still here. We're still working on it. And since then, I've been blessed with a lot of people inquiring about builds. And that is where the lion's share of my time is going right now. I have 3 builds in the shop, currently billing, working on them daily. I've got a team of 2 guys now, and we're diligently building the most amazing killer square bodies and off-road trucks that we can. This example next to me belongs to a gentleman out of Georgia who has entrusted me with his truck, and I gotta say, this is gonna be the most beautiful Blazer I have ever seen when we're done with it. LS, 4L80, custom leaf springs, Dana 60, Cooper 40s, method rims, custom cage, bumpers, full Holly dash. It's gonna be just, And this is the direction that the channel has naturally evolved to. I have more and more of you guys reaching out about custom builds, and I'm gladly taking them on because it's what I love to do. And that is why the videos have basically slowed down. I'm hammering. I'm here 7 days a week, 8 hours a day, grinding, building trucks, and getting product out the door to you guys. I do apologize for the lack of videos. It's been a hole in my heart because I recognize that without the content, I wouldn't have this. Without my audience, without you guys coming along on this ride with me, I wouldn't have the privilege of doing what I do. And so it's very important to me to get back to where I was, which is providing encouragement, motivation, and just reality checks for people when they think they can't do something. They can look at me and be like, well, Merrick did it, so how hard can it be? So that's where we are. Moving forward, what benefit does that have for you guys? Or what can you guys look forward to coming up in the future? Well, I don't want to be just a traditional fab shop that just builds trucks. I still want to teach. I want to become like I want to evangelize the process and the beauty of these trucks. I really, really feel there is something cathartic and something that provides a lot of growth individually by taking on a monumental task like this and persevering and seeing it through. And while I'm taking on customer builds, I am also keenly interested in you guys continuing on your own builds. As the business has grown, I've been able to make some hiring decisions. So I've brought a couple guys on to help me. I've got some friends working in the background doing some of the bookkeeping and the finance side. My next opportunity, the next area I want to move into is I need someone to come and help document and film this. I still want to be on camera talking to you guys. The process of stopping, setting up a camera, filming, editing, putting it up online, it's a full-time job in itself. And so I am looking to bring someone on to help with that. And with that opportunity comes the opportunity to kind of delve into other areas, live streaming, more content where it's just the camera's on, more quick, short, daily updates, more tutorials, and more personalities coming in to help with the heavy lifting. You've met Zach. If you haven't, I'll link a video up here that Zach appears in. Zach is going to be producing quite a bit of content for the show because he is building his own K5 Blazer. He shadowed me for a couple months. He's picked up a ton of tips and tricks, and he's got a huge passion for these trucks, much like I do. And so as a green mechanic, someone who's doing it in their driveway in Colorado, we're going to be visiting Zach and checking in on how his build is going and what he's doing and what he's accomplishing. It's basically an opportunity for us to observe someone basically learning from me and then taking it out into their own application. Products. I've got more and more products coming out. The seat brackets have sold phenomenally for years. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart, the seat bracket sales of what has kept this dream alive. Roll cages are now available. I've been diligently working on a roll cage solution for the Blazers just to provide some protection for anyone you put in the back of the truck. So those are now available on my website. I've shipped about half a dozen. I've got about another half a dozen to get through. And those sales are starting to pick up. So once again, thank you guys. If you're interested, if you don't know what I'm talking about, just go over to merricksgarage.com and you'll see my product and my store selection where I've got the seat brackets, I've got the light rack, I've got the roll cages, I've got merch, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it has been crazy here, in a good way, in a wonderful way, but unfortunately in a way that has drawn me away from the social media things. I'm looking to rectify that. I'm looking to start getting more content out to you guys. I have been shooting and it is sitting there. It just needs the final push from me. But that is where Merrick has been. I'm still here. In fact, I'm doing more and more than I ever have. I've just been lazy with the social media, and for that I apologize. Keep emailing me, messaging me with your projects, your questions. I love to see what you guys are doing, and I love hearing the success stories of people reconnecting with their dad or the grandfather and building a truck together, or just, showing their kids the world from the backseat of a Blazer. That's what I grew up with, and it's what I think a lot of kids would benefit from too. Well, thank you. Thank you for listening to this. Thank you for putting up with me for 10 years, and I'm looking forward to the next 10. Thank you again. Merricks Garage.